Yeah, if they can shut down shops, you know, all over the place, they can
Right.
shut down the electric and things. I think, you know, someone's got the power.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
that's what I believe. But you know, I might be wrong.
Mm.
You know.
But I was going to say there must be certain. There must be. But as we know, there are people out there that are powerful enough to shut shit down if they, if they wanted to. You know, if they made that decision that shit was going to be shut down, you best believe it would be shut down, if you see what I mean. You know, there are people that are that powerful, you know, have that much power and influence and
Well, I think that
money.
I think that actual shutdown was planned a long time before it actually happened.
Oh, definitely, it definitely.
They knew, some people knew, right? And those people, right, kept it all top secret.
Oh, of course,
They're all part of the same party.
Well, like we were talking about last time, I won't go into it too much because we talked about it kind of a bit in the previous episode, but there was something called Event 201 that was scheduled before the actual pandemic happened. They had a pandemic simulation as to what would happen in the event of a pandemic, you know? And this was run through a particular university and through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Event 201, and it was, you know, what would happen in the event of a pandemic, a global pandemic. And then not long after that, what happened? Global pandemic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you never know. But yeah, going back to the internet, you know, thanks, you know, the internet and these kind of things help us to know these things, that type of information, if you see what I mean.
That's
I would have never known that fact if it wasn't for the internet, if you see what I mean.
I think we've all, you know, people that do use the internet, whatever, it's made them understand the world they're living in a lot more. People, anyway, made them more intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, it's made me more intelligent.
It's opened up a lot more people's eyes to what, like you said, to what the world really is and what's really going on. And also the truth. And people are realising who's running shit and what's really going on, and that a lot of stuff is one big illusion. Yeah.
Anyway.
One big game, yeah, that's it. You know. It's one big illusion, you know. They keep people so distracted with everything that's going on that people can never really, not everyone, because there's a lot of us who are the exception to the rule. You know, the quote unquote black sheep, as they will kind of call you, you know, so to speak. But there are a lot of people that, you know, are able to see the world for what it really is, and I think a lot of people, not to be cliche, not to sound cliche, but I think a lot of people the people that can see, you know, the world, you know, the matrix for what it really is. You know, there's a lot of people who are, you know, kind of what they would say today, quote unquote woke, I guess, is what they would kind of, you know, say about a person today. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are, you know, knowledgeable today through the internet. You know, they've been able to gain more insight, more awareness, you know, through their own being able to research, being able to just having it at their fingertips and being able to use it to, you know, research what they're interested in.
Right, like I say, I've been using it for many years now, but I've been using it a lot more in the last 7 years because I've had a lot more time, because I used to work, okay, but I don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I just get time to use it as much as I want to.
Freely.
Way, you know, freely,
yeah.
You know, and I've learned a lot. You know, and I've explored, what I love doing on the internet, exploring. You know, like, you know, I love exploring different places, and I like finding different places, different, you know, birds or, you know, different things, you know, and I love sharing that on Facebook, do you know what I mean? And I have built up an audience in that time, you know what I mean? And since I've been doing Facebook, you know, I've got like nearly 5,000 friends and, you know, 3,000 followers, you know, follow me or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I post interesting stuff, you know, and why I do it, you know, because my son asked me, why do I do it, whatever, you know, because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy learning, that's what I love doing, alright? I love bettering myself.
Yeah.
Improving, you know. And I think, like, sometimes it don't matter what you learn, sometimes, you know. Sometimes I go different directions, you know, and learn about different things, you know. Like, you know, cooking for one, we've all got to learn about that.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, some people don't know to cook.
Yeah, true.
You know, but I do, you know, and that's another, you know, gift, you know. And then there's learning other things that you can do, I suppose, in life, you know, and just like I say, I don't think it matters what you do as long as you're learning something.
Yeah.
In life, you know,
Yeah.
and it all will come slowly together, I think.
Yeah.
If you just keep pushing yourself, you know. And I know what I already know, and then I sometimes explore the internet and I say, well, I haven't seen that before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every photograph that I've ever shared, I've seen. You know, I know that I've seen before.
Yeah.
You with me? If I've seen a photograph once,
yeah,
that's it. It's in my memory for some reason, you know.
Yeah. Kind of like photographic memory.
It is. I have got a photographic memory. I have. You know, I must admit. You know.
I'm like that to a degree. I must say to myself, I've got quite a photographic memory. Probably I wouldn't, maybe might not be as good as yours, but I have the same. You know, I am quite good with certain things. You know.
Well, I collect photos, okay, and I've got billions of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're all very. You know, I try to carefully organise them so I can find them again.
Yeah.
You know, and I like I say, it's like films as well. I collect them. Yeah. And I know, like, once I've got one, or you know, I know that once I've got one on my system, I know that I've got it.
Yeah, you know, it's on your database.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of in my memory, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's incredible actually that we've got a memory. You know, I know that I've spoken about that before.
Well, our memory is like our hard, it's like our hard drive, isn't it?
Yeah, the internet really is basically like a memory. And that's what's so powerful about it. You know, it's memorising everything everyone's putting on there, and you know.
Yeah.
And somebody might be putting lies on there.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, somebody's up to no good on the internet anyway. You know.
Well, there's a lot of that too. Like you get a lot of people spreading
lot of negativity.
like we were saying, misinformation, propaganda, negativity, hate. Even you get even people on the using the internet to spread hate, and you know.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. You know, but I think most of all, really, that the internet really and computers are built for intelligent people.
Oh, definitely. When the internet and everything else is used correctly, you know, for its intended purpose, it's a wonderful thing. You know.
And I'd say it's making us worldwide.
Yeah.
Wake up to something new. In a kind of way, you know. And you think about the internet, right? It's only like, I'm not sure how old it is. Do you know how old it is?
No, I can't.
25, 30, I mean, I think it's a lot older.
It might be older than that, but
I mean, Morse code,
yeah.
Right, that's kind of, was the first sign of internet in a funny way. Right, like sending signals through a wire,
yeah.
It was the first kind of, when it started evolving as it is, in a way, if you're with me. You know, but yeah, it's changed our world in a big way where we're kind of learning together. You know, now it don't matter whether you're poor or rich, you can still go on the internet. You know, whether you're in prison or in a mansion, you can go on the internet. You know, I look at it like we're all tiny little souls in a kind of way, plugging ourselves into the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and some people put some really good information that's helpful to people on there, you know, positive people, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all going on there, you know, and everyone's art is going on there as well.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody does a bit of art, it's no good them doing a bit of art, right, that's really beautiful, and put it in their front room and not sharing it with the world, you know, and the internet is giving that power to that person to do a lovely masterpiece and share it with the world.
Yeah, true.
You know, and
but it's also given a platform to a person that might not have anything else apart from their phone and the internet, and they've managed to use their phone and the internet to make a channel on YouTube or something. Let's say for example, just talking, just them talking to the camera or whatever the case may be, and it's given certain people the opportunity where they've literally had nothing apart from a mobile phone and the internet, and they've used it to elevate themselves and their life, kind of thing, if you see what I mean. You know, just literally through having the internet and a voice and a platform. You know, there are people out there who have literally built their platform through literally sitting down, talking to the camera about different topics, different subject matters, different relationship advice, or loads of all sorts. You know what YouTube's like, all sorts of different shit. But there are people that literally have started from nothing, literally, so, you know, broke as anything. Literally, all they've got is their phone and their internet connection, and they've made videos every day. And over time, they've, you know, grown in popularity, and they've built a channel, and it's, you know, a lot of people have subscribed to it, and they've, you know, ended up becoming, you know, quite successful. Literally, you know, from nothing, kind of thing. You know, it's also giving that person an opportunity. You know, so, like you said, homeless person could be on the street with a cell phone and internet connection.
He could make his own YouTube about his life.
About his life.
You know, what's it like to be a tramp?
And end up getting loads of following, loads of views, and end up potentially making money in the future. Or, you know, at least, you know, semi-decent, you know, something, you know. So yeah, it's literally giving an opportunity to anyone who's got a phone and internet connection, you know. Like you could be in, you know, you could be any part of the world, you know. Like they say, that old saying, you could be in bumfuck Nebraska. You know, there's, you know, you have a mobile and internet, you could make, like you said, you could make vlogs about your daily life, living in fucking Alaska. You know, what it's like to live there and survive there, and the colds, and, you know, what they eat, and how they, you know, their way of life. You know, people will be interested to see that too, because it's not a normal everyday thing for, you know, existence for most people. You know, so it'd be intriguing for some people. You know, so it's, you know, anyone can kind of do it. You know, so I think that's the beauty of the internet today. Is you know, people have got opportunity. You know, like, it's called a smartphone for a reason. You know, don't be a dummy using a smartphone, you know, because, you know, it's powerful. I think people don't always realise the potential of what they've got in their hand today, especially with these newer smartphones where they've got all these apps, all the, you know, everything, you know, like they've got internet, all these different apps, you know, etc. You know, and they've got the tools. You know, a lot more tools than people used to have in the past, anyway, to be successful. You know, so yeah. And people use the internet today to bring awareness to their brands too, as well, on a global scale. Now, people can have a brand that is popular on a global scale, not just in their country or their city or their town.
They can open up to the world.
They can ship their clothing, their whatever it is, whatever they're making, whatever it is, across the world, you know. It can become a global thing, you know, through social media, through the internet, just use the internet to promote it.
I mean, I speak to a lot of people, okay, well, I have done in the past anyway, I don't say that much now, right? But I've spoken to lots of people, you know, and had lots of conversations with them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But one thing I've learned, really, right, no matter who you're talking to, right, because, you know, it's through Messenger, you don't see a picture of them, right? Don't know who they are, really, in a kind of way. You're just seeing their words, yeah? And then you type some work back, yeah? But what I've learned, really, no matter who you speak to, right, when you go on the internet, you've got no guns. That person can't shoot you, who's talking to you, yeah? Right? And you've got no clothes, alright, in a kind of way, yeah? You're kind of invisible almost, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
Yeah.
Right? You haven't got no money either. You know, so if that person's talking to you, he might have a lot of money, right? He might be more wealthier than you, whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
And I might be poor talking to him, alright? But it kind of like, doesn't matter. You're just talking word to word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It don't matter what status you are, you know, you're just a spirit talking to another spirit.
Yeah.
In a funny way, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can't see who that person is in a kind of way.
No.
Whether it's a male or female even, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. A lot. You're just talking to a profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like I say, the internet is also a dangerous place, you know, where there's men, you know.
There's people that catfish people.
Well, yeah, you know, whatever, you know, there's a lot of nasty stuff going on.
There's a lot of people that post fake. They have like fake profiles and shit and stuff like that. You've got people who pretend to be people. They'll literally
That's right.
make a profile, take pictures of like some model or something, and post it as them on their account.
Yeah.
And they'll be messaging people, being, oh, look at me and la-di-la-di, you know, all that type
or
of shit.
they copy someone's account.
Mate, you know many women out there, mate, that have probably catfish men out there out of money.
Yeah.
Through fake accounts and shit like that,
Probably
you know what I mean?
quite a lot.
Because there's a lot of men out there, mate, who are lonely online, and they get caught up with women asking them for money and shit. And especially sometimes if they've got money and they're wealthy, sometimes they're quite happy to help them. They'll be like, oh, I need money for a passport. Oh, I need money to go to the embassy because I need to go to the embassy in order to get the passport. You know, they keep asking them for money and promising, saying, oh, when I get my passport, I'll come and meet you. But then they never end up actually meeting these people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They keep sending them money because they think, oh, you know, this person loves me, I'm in love with them, we've met online, we've got this lovely relationship. Now they're asking me for money, okay, I'm going to help them out so I can finally see them. And the whole thing's a bloody scam, you know what I mean? I've watched it online, I've seen it happen, you know, I've seen documentaries on it, all sorts of shit. And these women literally just have these fake profiles, fake accounts and stuff, and just like message these guys every day and send them photos and, you know, pretend to be whatever. Get this money out of them, try and get 10 to 20 grand out of them, you know, out of each one every time. And then just say, oh, I'm going to meet you, and then never actually meet them.
No, I get a lot of scammers sometimes.
You know? And then they delete, and then what they do is just delete their profile. They deactivate their accounts, and then they disappear. Because everything they had online was fake anyway. All the information. So even if you try to look up that information, it's all fake. There's nothing. And now the account's deactivated as well. It's gone. Your money's gone. You know? They're scammed. You know? Sometimes you get people who commit bloody suicide and shit behind that type of stuff. That happening too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like people message each other and they get upset.
But that's one thing about the internet too. We're talking about the internet, the scams. All the bloody scamming, you know? That's a large part of the internet as well.
And
people,
then
you know?
Another thing on the internet is gambling, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
So you can gamble on there.
Mm.
So personally, I don't think gambling's a good thing. You know, I think that's making poorer, and the rich richer again. You know, gambling. You know, it's making our world messy.
But we know, if you're a logical person and you understand how these you have to understand that all gambling institutions or organisations or whatever it may be is a business.
Yeah.
And the rule of making business is what?
Profit.
Voila! Did you hear what he just said? The rule of making business is what?
Profit.
Profit. So you have to understand that when you go into a casino, or whatever the case may be, yes, they may give away some money, but it's always like a 70-30 or 75-25 percentage ratio. So you'll get the house, being the casino or the business, will make 70% out of the 100% of money that comes through the casino. They might make 70% of the money and give back out 30 because they want people to feel like they're winning and they've got a chance and they can come back and spend their money again because they wanted to, you know, come back, you know, feel like they've got a chance of winning. And some people do get lucky, don't get me wrong, there are some lucky people, and I must say when I did gamble, I must say I was predominantly lucky myself, thankfully. But yeah, that is the whole goal of gambling. It's the business is trying to make money, you know.
Right.
And like you said, it's usually poorer people or working class people that tend to usually end up worse off when it comes to gambling because they're using the money that they've got from their job.
I think most people that do go to do any gambling, they know there's a big chance, you know what I mean?
Of losing.
You know, they know that, but you know, it's the thrill of winning, isn't it? You know, that little chance of winning, you know.
Yeah.
And going, ready,
yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I was going to say, right, mate, I know people are heavily addicted too because I remember even one time, I think I told you, I got a royal flush. I was playing jacks or better on one of these machines, yeah? Jacks or better. One of the machines outside the hotel I used to work in. And I got a royal flush in spades. S, King, Queen, Jack, 10 in spades. As soon as I pressed deal cards, because the first game I finished and I won a bit of money off that game, I pressed deal cards again to play another game. First 5 cards that came out was the royal flush. Held all the cards, press deal cards. The machine acknowledged I got a royal flush, started going, you know, making loads of noise, coins rattling, the whole machine going crazy, whatever, coins coming out of everywhere. And the guy next to me, who used to be in there every single day playing, he was so excited by this. You would have thought that he'd won.
Yeah.
By how excited he got.
Because you won.
Because I won.
Yeah.
So that kind of even showed me there and then, that how addicted these people are, like, you know what I mean, like that. He didn't even win anything.
Yeah.
But because I won, he was so excited. Even though he was,
because he wanted some of your money.
Exactly, but he was losing his money.
Oh, right.
You see what I mean? He was losing. He was down. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he was to be excited about. But like you said,
he wanted some of
it's
your
that
money.
excitement. Yeah, it's that excitement of the win, that thrill.
Well, he thought because you won.
Yeah, but I did buy him a beer and give him a $5, you know, and say, oh, you know, yeah, there's a $5, yeah. But yeah, like, you know. Yeah.
But that's all on the internet now, isn't it?
It's all on the internet now. Yeah. Even like all Ladbrokes and William Hill and all these different things that we got, Betfred and all these different, Coral, all these different things we got in the UK. All that's kind of online now as well, most of it. You've got the few, like you see a few of them on the high streets here and there, but not as predominant as they used to be before. No. A lot of it is online today. People just go online and transfer, because you've got online banking. People transfer £10 from their online bank into their account on these gambling sites and put it into whatever game they're playing or whatever bet they want to place on the football or, you know, hockey or God knows what.
I mean, I used to, when I was 21, so that was like 30 years ago now, or more, I used to go gambling with my friend, you know, we used to go to casinos.
Yeah.
And he used to go on the roulette, right, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I did a little bit, but...
Not a roulette person,
I find it boring.
Yeah, boring.
You know, I couldn't make, you know, anyway, I used to play cards.
I like cards personally.
I played blackjack, right, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I used to go every weekend or whatever, or when I could, okay?
Yeah.
And it was open till like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fantastic. There's a lovely atmosphere as well, you know, and quite posh place, you know?
Yeah.
And the meals were cheap as well, because they made the meals to encourage people there.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the meal was only £10, alright, and it was served like by loads of people coming out, and it was really sort of top class, you know.
Trying to keep you there, feed you up and keep you gambling and keep you happy.
I used to enjoy it, you know, but I gave it up because I had a son, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, you got to be sensible in life, you know, and you know, even though I didn't gamble mad, do you know what I mean? And I always used to sort of win actually quite often, you know.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say I used to.
Lucky.
I was gonna say out of the 100% of times that I played, I probably won at least 80 to 85% at the time. I was lucky. I was one of those people that I didn't play very often, but every now and again I'd go into the casino. And most of the time I'd either play poker or jacks or better on one of the machines. During that time it was quarters. You could play at quarters. You could put in as many quarters as you wanted.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I usually used to start about 4 quarters. As soon as I used to see the machine was starting to give me like good hands and building up, and like the hands were getting better and better, if you see what I mean, like it was on a run kind of thing, the machine for like, you know, for a few hands, whatever, I'd increase my bets, if you see what I mean, and play, you know. But most of the times I used to win money. But I used to always be strict with myself as well, disciplined. I used to say, okay, I've got $20, because I was in the Caribbean, 20 Barbados dollars. I'm going to play this, because I've just got paid. If I play this and I win more, then that's a blessing, because I've just got paid, so I'll have more money on top of my payback. But I'm only going to play this 20, and if I lose it, then I'm leaving.
That's the art of winning, being disciplined.
I'm leaving. So I was like, okay, if I lose this 20, I'm not going to play anything else. I've lost, I'll try again next week, or whatever the case may be, you know? So that's what I used to do. I used to play a few times a week for an hour or two and try and, you know? That's
the art of gambling, really, sort of.
Picking your opportunity.
Well, you've got to walk away when you're winning.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, not carry on. If you've won,
well,
go.
I was going to say that time that I got that royal flush, right, mate? I had to get buckets to collect the quarters. Because I'd won 500 and something Barbados. I just got paid too. I just got paid like 400 and something Barbados for the week of working. Like, you know what I mean? After taxes, I got paid like 400 something Barbados dollars, which was okay, but not, you know, it wasn't, you know, a huge amount either. You see what I mean? You know, it's all right. But then I got that. I was going in there with $20 again, risking $20. Ended up putting, I can't remember, like 16 quarters, $4 in the machine, 16 quarters in it, getting a royal flush on the 16 quarters.
You won that money?
And then when I dealt the cards, it, you know, held all of them and dealt the cards. It machine, you know, I won 500 and something, you know.
Yeah.
But it all came out in quarters out of the machine, if you see what I mean. So there were buckets,
Yeah.
like, you know, and I had to take them up to the cashier, and she had to, you know, throw them into this machine where you know it all goes down, it, you know. But yeah, I ended up.
I mean, I used to go through machines a little bit, right? But like I say, the game for me, I used to go there every weekend. I used to go there for like 3 years probably of my life. And it's just the experience really that I enjoyed, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it, it's the experience.
Then I met someone who had a baby, and I kind of like drifted off. You have to, you know, spend your time doing that in a kind of way.
On other stuff, yeah.
And I kind of forgotten about it since then, you know, in a kind of way, about going, you know. One of my favourite things
Maybe what we should do, mate, just for a little hobby, maybe we should buy some cards and like some chips. And one night when we're bored,
no,
we can have a poker game or something.
No,
just a little.
because I gave it up. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to play the game again.
No, but okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I was just thinking
like
for a bit of fun. Just thinking
right?
for a bit of fun.
When I was little, I used to play cards all the time, you know.
Yeah.
When the internet wasn't around.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the days when I was younger, right, where people, I think families used to be a bit more connected, you know, where, like for instance, my nan, right, all her children left home,
yeah,
whatever, and they used to go and see her every weekend, you know, all of them, you know, there's lots of people around there, you know, but the internet stopped that.
Yeah.
In a funny way, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and see Nan anymore because they're later on the internet.
On Zoom or
you
Skype
know, I mean, like,
or,
I mean, or
WhatsApp or something.
You know, so it's changed the world in a different way, you know. Family connections are not so, you know, like they were, I don't think, because of the internet.
Well, if I had a cousin in New Zealand right now, I could call them right now on FaceTime. They're in New Zealand, like you're saying, like literally we're here in England, you know. Could literally call them right now on FaceTime. As long as they've got internet connection and we've got internet connection, it's, you know, see each other, you know, like they're, you know, right there, you know, in the room next to you, you know. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it is really.
Connectivity, you know, how far we've come in the last 20 years, you know, how the internet has grown and got better and evolved, and how smartphones have got better and grown and evolved, and all the technology, all the laptops, all the tablets, all the different computers, all the smart televisions, all these different things we've got today where everything's integrated into your device, whether the device be a television, a tablet, a phone, whatever, even watches. People got smart watches today where they can check, they can do the same, everything they can do on a phone they can do on their watch. They can call someone, they can check their email, they can go online, they can do everything on their watch. So we're at a point today where, you know, you know, connectivity is at an all-time high. We're, you know, it's incredible. And I think sometimes, like, we take it for granted sometimes as well. Like, you know, like anyone that's grown up, anyone who's an early 90s baby, you know, and anyone born before the early 2000s, knows what it's like to grow up without the internet, if you see what I mean. What life was like prior to the internet.
Well, I do.
You know,
I do.
And likewise, because I grew up, you know, I grew up in, you know, I was when the internet came around, I was about 14, 15, if you see what I mean. So I'd already grown up, kind of thing. You know, it's kind of, you know, and at that point as well, when I was 14, 15, it wasn't great either. So it wasn't until I got to maybe 21, 22 that it was actually worth using, because before that it was not very good. You might play a game online or something, or play spades on the computer, or whatever it's called, you know, the game where you solitaire, or whatever on the computer, or this type of shit. But I never used to do much on it apart from that, you know, to be honest, you know, check an email, you know.
I mean, when I first got the let's talk about when I first got the computer. Yeah. It was 1 gigabyte.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's the biggest one. You know,